Alright, welcome to another tutorial. Today we're going to be once again on the 2010 Mercury Milan Premier, which is the same as a 2010 Ford Fusion. And most Ford cars in the Ford lineup are all done the same way. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be changing the inner tie rod. Now, first and foremost, let me show you how you know that the inner tie rod is bad. We know the inner tie rod is bad because when we go here, I'm going to put this on here so that you can see. In 1 second, now I get it right where you can see. Basically, you can put your hands on the 3 and 9 o'clock position on here and shake it. And you'll be able to tell. Or you can have someone shake it while the tie's on. Put your hand there and you can feel the little play in there. So we know it needs to be changed. So that's what we're about to do. So the first thing you want to do is you want to take and let's grab a jack so we can get everything set up. Alright, so we're ready to get started. Alright, first things first, make sure you get your jack stands all the way around. We got jack stand here. We got a jack here. We have another jack stand here. Alright, we got all that already taken care of and done. So we got safety first. You always want to be safe. I also recommend wearing some eye goggles. Now the part we're going to be replacing is the inner tie rod. We got the Master Pro inner tie rod right here. Part number EV800774. And this is what that part looks like. Still in the bag, unopened. Brand new. It comes with a pack of grease so that you can grease that bearing. Alright, now if you're driving down the road and you're hearing loud sounds of air as you're driving, that could be a wheel bearing. However, on here, let me show you as I put this right here. You can see if you grab the 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock position and move it back and forth, you can see that it moves. But anytime you have that movement of play, you know that's an inner tie rod. Now you can sometimes do it like this and check it 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock, but you don't have no play. The best way to do it is to leave the tie on the vehicle, and while the tire's on the vehicle, have someone rock it back and forth from east and west, and have your hand right here on the outer tie rod, and you'll hear the thump, and you'll hear the pop. So, first things first, we're going to go ahead and break this nut on the top of our tie rod. We're going to go ahead and break that nut real quick. Let's break it real quick. Alright, we got it broke. Now, take your nut, place it on top of it, and thread it back down just a little bit so that you get better coverage with your hammer. Then you're going to get your hammer. Then you're going to take your hammer and you're just going to beat it down until it pops out. Alright? So let's beat it down until it comes out. it's out of there. All right. If you'll notice, this fell off. That is what you want to happen. You do not want to thread it on there because you don't want to mess up your threads. In case you're going to reuse this, as in this case, we are going to reuse this tie rod end because nothing's wrong with it. We're going to replace the inner and not the outer. All right. Now, next thing we need to do is we need to get some pliers. And I have some around here somewhere right here. You have a pin right here on the end of here. If you get these together and squeeze, you can take this clip off. So let's take this clip off. There we go. There's our clip right there off. Now, in the very back, and you can't see, so I'm going to have to show you. In the very back here, there is another pin, another clip. Right here. I got it off already. But right here, there's another one. Now, the way you get that off of there is you take a screwdriver and you just take that screwdriver back there and twist up under the part, and you'll see it up under there when I'm looking at what I'm talking about when you get up under there. Excuse me. And the next thing you're going to do is we're going to get some lubricant like WD-40 or some silicone spray. I use WD-40. We're going to get this WD-40 and we're going to spray the end of that. All right, and the reason we're spraying that is because we got to take that dust boot off. Some people call it a dust boot. I'm going to zoom in so you can see a little bit better. All right, there you go. So we're going to take that dust boot off. So the way we're going to take that off is we're going to use a little screwdriver and just carefully, make sure I'm not in the camera light. We're going to carefully, be careful not to damage that boot, because that boot is what protects our tie rod from debris and from losing oil. So we want to just carefully go around it to loosen it up so that we can pull it off. Now, this nut right here is a 21, and this is called an adjusting screw. Whenever you get an alignment on your car, whenever you get a front end alignment, they adjust your toe, caster, and your camber. Those are three things they adjust. They adjust the toe, the caster, and the camber. Here's how you adjust the toe. And what the toe is, the toe tells the tire whether it's standing straight up or whether it's slanted to the left or the right. So we're just gonna adjust the nut that adjusts our toe. All right, so let's go ahead and break that loose. I'm gonna put this in here 1 second while I break it loose. Down. And we're gonna count the threads. Right here that is thread. And I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 threads. So we're gonna remember that because when we get ready to put the new one on, we're gonna put the nut 6 threads up and then put our tie rod on to make sure that our toe is decent. We're still gonna have to get a front end alignment, but that's gonna allow us to be able to drive it to a shop to get in alignment. All right. I'll also show you how to do a homemade alignment as well. All right. So first things first, we will go ahead and remove this. We're gonna use this here, adjusting opening wrench. And we're gonna set it right here to hold this while we unscrew our tie rod in off. Alright? So let's unscrew that off. You gotta get something that'll hold that well. It's actually kind of stripped. Looks like somebody stripped. Looks like someone tried to do it before and they know what they were doing and stripped it out. So we gotta be careful when doing it. Now we don't care if we strip it in because we're going to replace it, but we do need to be able to get a good grip on it in order to take it off. All right. Now this is probably going to be the most time-consuming part of everything right here, taking this off. Let's gonna unscrew it. All right. We're going to count the turn. Two. Three. Again, it's stripped, so it's coming off. So it looks like what we need is some vice grips. So we're going to get a pair of vice grips real quick so that we can hold it and don't slip. And I know I have a pair of vice grips. Is this on YouTube? I'm going to pause 1 second, guys. Alright, so got the vice grips. Let's put the vice grips on here to hold this so that it doesn't rock. I'm going to go ahead and get this off and I'll come back to you once it's off. Alright, so back. What we got to do, unscrew this tie rod off. I'll tell you what I'm going to go ahead and do. I got it to where we can go ahead and unscrew it off. Alright, so the tie rod is off. Next thing we need to do, we need to unscrew this, adjust the nut all the way off. Hard to get off than I thought it was going to be. Alright, so we got that off. We're going to take all of this. We're going to put this back on here. Put it back on like this. We're going to set all that to the side. Now we need to get this dust boot off. Remember I told you we got to be careful with it. We put some WD-40 on it earlier to kind of loosen it up so that we won't have a problem getting it off. So now, let's see how good that's going to help us get it off of here. You got to be careful when doing this. Because we don't want to damage that boot. Alright. Boom. We got it off. Now that we got it off, you can see this tie rod. So this definitely has to be replaced. As you can tell, there's no grease, none in there, as well as here. That's just white. I'm not sure what that is in there, but you have to put something else in there to dictate that as well. Now the fun part. Taking this off of here. This is held on by a big ass bolt. So we're gonna get our kit together and we're gonna come back and get it off, alright? Alright, so we got all that apart. Now we just gotta take that inner tie rod off. The way we're gonna do that is we're gonna use what's known as an inner tie rod removal tool. Now, the size that fits on here is gonna be 1 7/16. Alright? The way you use this tool is you put this in there just like that. Then you slide it on here. Now, you want to put this on your thing first. Then slide it over. Then just using this, you want to break it. Right. And it's broke. Now we just switch it on and off. Okay. And bam. We got it off. Just that easy. Now this one fell apart. The bushing's gone. Everything gone in it. Look at that. Alright. So, now, I'm going to need this to put the noodle on as well. I'm going to put this here out the way. Do not lose this. They do go bad. That one right there, you can see that seal is not the best on it. We're going to take this and compare it against our old one and make sure it's the same. As you can tell, it is identical. This got all that play. This one does not. It's fully greased. This one has no grease in it whatsoever. Now we do have a new retaining pin in it as well, inside the new retaining nut on the new one. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this old piece, and it has to sit on this new one. Good idea to clean that first. We're going to apply grease to it anyway. That seal is not the best on there by a long shot. That's probably causing some of our problems too. Pretty sure that needs to be replaced. You want to be careful not to damage that if you can. The new one comes with some grease. Here go your grease here. And this grease is so that we can grease all up in there and apply grease to here as well. So we're going to apply some grease on our seal. We're going to apply grease inside. Alright, so I'm going to cut the car back off. And we're going to go under and apply our grease. Up under, I'm going to show you. We're going to apply our grease right there and everything. And we're going to put it back together. And basically putting it back together is reverse of taking it off. And that's pretty much it. Alright, hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and like and subscribe for more content.